Warning: these stunts in this video were performed by trained professionals under controlled conditions. Do not attempt to copy or recreate anything you see here. Doing so could result in serious injury or worse. Stay safe and leave these stunts to the pros. What's up, everyone? This is Mahaffey with Underworld Explorers. Today we're at West Isles, Peacock Springs at what they call Peacock One, P1 for short. So recently there was a report that the cave was silted out. And it was more than just silt. You know, normally silt's kind of dark. This is white out, right? So this was like some kind of clay or some kind of other stuff suspended in the water.
Well, P1 is really low. And we haven't had no rain, but it is absolutely milky. I wonder if there was a collapse inside recently.
So it made us really curious what happened. The different options that could be, it could be runoff from rain. Well, it didn't rain, right? It didn't rain here.
It rained a little bit that night.
It did rain a little bit that night? So maybe it rained a little bit, so we're going to keep that in mind. The second option, it could have been a collapse in the cave or the cavern zone somewhere. So when rocks collapse, they create a big, silt cloud and all this nastiness, and it stays suspended in the water for a while. The other option is the water levels in North Florida are so low right now is because we're in a drought, right? So if you look behind us, there's a run that typically goes from, this is a spring cave, so the water comes out of this cave, and it goes down this run, or the slough, whatever they want to call it, into what they call Peacock 3. Peacock 3 is a siphon. So siphons spring water out, siphons take water in. So the water, the river, the underground river comes above ground, goes over land, and then back underground for many miles, right? It goes forever. Anyway, with the waters being so low, it's not connected right now. So all this water that should be flowing out, it's just not going anywhere. It's finding its route underground and between rocks and stuff lower than what it normally is. And so what Ted McCoy thinks happened is it's not flowing on the surface, so it's staying suspended at the surface. All the silt from people getting in and out. So yeah, with all the people from out of town and all the extra diving that's happening here, he believes it's silting it up. So we have our three hypotheses, and we're gonna go see what this is. We're gonna go investigate this, guys. I'm leaning more towards there's probably a collapse somewhere in the cave on the spring side, or maybe in the basin. We haven't searched it yet. We'll search it after the dive, looking for something that shifted, possibly. And then we'll find out what happens. We got a bunch of teams here today, so if it whites out again, we'll know that's it. The raining, I don't know, it is kind of sprinkling a little bit, so maybe we'll get some rain in, and we'll figure that out. But, all right, guys, I think that's it. Let's get started. Y'all ready to go?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go. Alright, everyone, thanks for watching another awesome video of Underworld Explorers. Today we're going into the cavern right now in Peacock Springs, obviously, right? That didn't change. But right now, as you see, the visibility is not very bad. It's a little hazy, it's moving a little bit, but so that's an indication, right? So that just leads to that's where we're going right now. Anyway, so right now we're going into the cavern. You see the team descending. I'm leading us down. Eventually, here in a second, we're going to make it into the overhead. The cave entrance, for those that have never been in Peacock, is right underneath the stairs. So the platform that we were on as we were talking, the cave entrance is right there, and it goes towards the parking lot area. The visibility I wasn't too worried about today. It didn't seem bad. So I think a lot of the teams being in there has something to do with the bad viz. But it's not everything. We do find something really interesting, so stay tuned and watch this video. So right now, the guy with the blue BC or the side mount harness is Sam. And then the back mount doubles is Steve. So this is us descending into the cavern. That's me spinning around, trying to find the main line. So if you look, see this, all this dust? That's not just from us. We descended down. We created a little bit of dust. We weren't being the cleanest, but that's not all of us right there. It's just kind of just hanging out in that one spot. And the flow in this cave right now, there's 2 spring passages, one from each side, and they usually meet right here in the middle and then spring up towards the run that we just entered. But with the water levels being so low, it's not doing that right now. So I think any silt that is created by the divers and the teams going in just kind of stays right there in that area until it gets pushed down to the well. But look, if you look right now, as soon as we get into the cavern, it immediately starts clearing up. It's not too bad. There's still some haze off to our left right there, and we're going to discover what's causing that real soon. So right now, myself and Sam are sitting down. We have the side mount harnesses, so we fit in the smaller spaces. But so right now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to start on the left side of this cavern, facing in, and I'm going to do a circle all the way around the cavern, go down all the cracks, look up and down, and just see if I see anything obvious from collapse perspective. And then I think Sam thinks we were doing a photo shoot. So he's just kind of waiting around right there. And then this is, you see me off on the right side of the screen right now, just circling the cavern. I'm just trying to see, just going to the bottom of it right there. You see some haze in the background right there, but everything else in front right here is clear. So we're just gonna make a small circle around the cavern, real methodical. But where we go, just looking for any signs of collapses. And right now everything looks ordinary to me. These big rocks have always been there. We can review footage later from older dives and see if anything's shifted, but I don't believe it has. So right here, we're in pretty much the very back of the cavern. This drops all the way down, probably 45, 50 feet, something like that. So I'm gonna go to the bottom right there just to see what's down there. I just want to say, these DJI cameras pick up, the Action 5 is what we're using right here. It picks up the blacks so freaking well. It's really, really nice. The DJI 6 just came out. So we're going to order one and try it out, and hopefully it's just as good. Or we know it's just going to be just as good, but hopefully it's better, which is already pretty amazing. I think there's another stop or two of dynamic range in the new camera. The sensor is it's a 1/1.1. So which is it's almost a 1-inch sensor. It's pretty good. It's 0.9. That's what that would be. Anyway, get back to the action. So we're just searching. All that silt right there is from me. That's not from the any collapses or anything. But yeah, I'm just swimming around looking for anything obvious. Kind of doing a search around. I don't see anything yet. I do notice something here shortly. That's going to be a crack on the rock. It's pretty interesting, which I don't know if it's been there before. I've never actually done a search in this cavern. Usually when we're getting this cavern, I'm either teaching or I'm going down and go and do a cave dive. So usually it's just there's 3 passages off this main cavern. But right here, this is the bottom right there. So that's another way down to the lower cave. Look at all the sticks and stuff that just kind of accumulate right there. It's pretty cool. So we're just swimming up, looking around, not seeing anything super obvious yet as far as collapses goes, right? This rock coming up is, it looks like, I mean, well, look at all see the silt on top of it? So that rock has been there forever, right? That's not going to collapse and then have a bunch of silt on top of it too. So here I am just going behind this big rock right here just to see anything else. Again, look at all the silt on top of that big rock. It didn't just collapse. So we know that one's not it. You see the line going down into the Olsen side of the passage. It's pretty cool. I just noticed that my dump, or not the dump, the cap for the bladder on my wing is leaking. No one told me that. Yeah, it's a great BC, guys. I really like it, but you know, running into this issue again is kind of frustrating. Anyway, this is a big crack in the rock right there, so potentially this is going to shift in and drop into the lower passage of this cave. Just me pointing it out. But I don't think that's what's causing our issue, right? Because right now, if this rock were to shift and go down, all the silt would go down into the lower cave passage and not out of the cavern zone, right? So we need to find something that's in front of the flow that would be pushed out into the cavern, or out of the cavern into the open water. So we're just looking around. Look at that, it's crazy. My BC quit leaking. I wonder if Jacob turned it or something when the camera wasn't on it. So in this dive, I decided to take my 50s and a stage 80, an aluminum 80. Just have a little more gas just in case we did find something interesting and wanted to stay longer. So I didn't plan on doing a full-on cave dive here. Anyway, so now we're past the Olsen side. Now we're going to the well side that heads to P2. So this is the side that typically takes on the water right now. You can see it, all the funkiness. See all the nasty silt and stuff. It's darker over here. And that's the cavern zone right there. And then look, this is where the water flows. It flows down into this crack right here, and it just goes, right? That's me pointing it out to you. So Jacob's going to go down here and video some of this. So that's where we're switching now. We're on the Olsen side of the line, so they connect under there. So that's the sign of the cave sign saying do not go any further without proper training, which is probably a good idea for cave diving. So you follow this line up and you go straight up. The top of that crack is where the cavern is for what we call P1. So he's looking for signs. He's looking left and right, looking for signs of anything collapsed or any silt or anything like that. And we're just not seeing it. We're really not. So we're back up in the cavern zone now. You're going to see me, Steven, and Sam coming up here shortly. Kind of waiting on him to do his little swim through. if you're looking at it, all the water's clear right here, but if you look up to the cavern where the daylight's coming from, it's darker. It's more hazy. There's more silt spinning in the water right there. So anyway, so we searched the right side of the cave and the back side of it pretty thoroughly. We didn't see anything super obvious. We did see where there's a bunch of silt going down into the well side of the cave, going towards B2. But so right now we're going to swim over to the peanut side of the peanut passage and looking for signs of silt. And I believe Sam or Steve saw the following, and they're the ones that pointed it out. So I'm just waiting for everybody to catch up right now. And then this is where Steve's, or I think it's Steven, one of them told me, hey, come check this crack out. So the ceiling over here did something pretty interesting. We did not cause this right here. This silt just bellowing out right here. This is something that happened on its own. So all the flow, if you look on the left side of the camera, all the flow from this passage is coming from right there. And then this silt is coming from a crack in the ceiling. Look at it. It's just falling down from this crack. Now, what does this mean? This can mean a couple different things. One is either a bunch of fish up in there causing the silt, or potentially the ceiling has shifted right there and more dirt and mud from the ground above is falling through. We're going to have a sinkhole, maybe another entrance into the cavern here. So that's going to be interesting to watch. But we believe right here is what's causing most of the silt in this cave, along with the divers, extra divers that are typically in there. So yeah, so we're thinking it's either some kind of fish or, you know, something, or a collapse. So that's what we're leaning towards right now. And we'll explain it a little more on the end of the dive, what we really think. But so I thought that was pretty interesting. So we're heading up, back out of the cavern zone right now. We're going to pick up the tanks, and there's, I think that's Steve's or someone's reel tied into the cave. We were being bad divers going into a cave that we know has silted out recently with no line. So tell us in the comment section how stupid that was. I say it's not a big deal. You have the rest of your life to figure it out. So, you know, if you come out and there's a silt out, well, you have eternity to find your way out. Or you don't. All joking, that was really foolish of us. I think maybe we should have been a little smarter about that and ran a line. In fact, I thought we were supposed to run a line. It was briefed for someone to run a line, but it was not done, apparently. Because I was just excited to get into the cave, so whatever. We did a big no-no. But alright, so this is us sending out of the cave. We have a pretty good idea what happened, so stand by on the debrief, and we'll tell you what we think. I really appreciate everyone for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. All right, guys, so we went in to the cavern. We were looking around. We did a complete circle all the way around the cavern. Jacob kind of followed me. Then we went to, this cave, right? Normally it flows out of one side There's multiple passages. It usually flows out of one side, boils up right here where we're at, goes down the slough, and goes to P3. But with the water being so low, and there's a land bridge now that's in the way, so it's not allowing the water to go across, the water's redirected itself, going down, all the water is going down to the well and all that, and pushing out of P2 and coming out of the ground a couple hundred feet that way. So we looked, we did see a lot of nastiness that from just other divers, going through the cave, and it's making its way to P2 right now. And then, so we were exploring around, just kind of looking for, more signs of collapses and stuff. And that's when, so we split at first. It was Jacob and Steve, they were together. And then Jacob and Steve, it was Sam and Steve, they were together. And then me and Jacob were separate. And we all met back up. And then Steve and, it was Sam, right? Which one of you waved me?
Steve. Figure it out.
One of you waved me. It was Steve.
Yeah, that was Steve.
So Steve waved me over. He started doing his twitching thing. He's about to do it. He's coming. Anyway, no. So he waved me over and was like, "Look at this." And I was like, "Oh, cool." I got in there and the silt was bellowing out of that little hole. And I was like, "Oh, you stuck a finger in there and started doing this, dude?" And apparently, no.
Nope.
And then so I let them talk about what they think happened.
So I think the ceiling had shifted. I tried to video it pretty good of where you can see the obviously cracking going around the ceiling. It's just a big chunk. And I think it just shifted a little bit, and then it's just kind of slowly eating away at itself. Eventually it's going to come down. Just who knows
Sorry,
when.
I'm catching fish, everybody. You're going to be catching another one. Hold on, watch. Let me show you. Sorry, I'm swirling, guys. Here we go. You ready? I'm going to show you how to catch a fish if you're ever, out on the island somewhere. So what you do is you put your hand down, you sink it down, and you spit on the surface. Wait a minute. I'm going to get one. Damn it. One more try. Got it. I got it. Anyway, all right, go ahead and finish the story, big dog.
Basically, I think the ceiling shifted, and just along that little fissure, maybe it's a new crack or something up in there, further up in that little fissure. And it's just bellowing out lime rock that's just been kind of grinded or broken apart. So yeah. So are you about to talk?
No.
Okay.
No,
So
When these rocks, let me put my take back on, guys. When this ceiling used to be a ceiling right here, this joint, and now it's like shifted and separated, and all of the bubbles from underneath the cavern or inside the cave are coming up the wall, and then going into this crack and knocking down still. Eventually, it's going to make it worse, right? So if the bubbles collect up there, it's eventually going to shift the whole ceiling down. So I'm not saying that's what caused the little whiteout over here, but it's a good indication that's what it was. So I'm glad, at least taught y'all how to catch a fish today. Let me see if I can do another one real quick. No, okay. Maybe next time. We'll do a whole episode dedicated to that. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. All right, who the fuck am I going to thank? Who have I not thanked? I hadn't shouted you out. What is it?
Ghost Caver.
Ghost Caver? Is that it? Like
my actual
what shows up when you comment on YouTube? Ghost Diving Adventures. Jacob Croft, my main cameraman. Thanks for watching, liking, and subscribing. And remember, I'll see everyone else on the next one.